This story came about in 2009, when I labored as a realtor in a small firm. At the time, the actual property market was once simply starting to come alive. The association presented a small however secure salary, and the proportion of my trades I paid to administration used to be very low. This was once a quintessential thing for me in deciding on my job, and as a personal broker, I earned much less. Humans believe campaigns more. The workplace used to be placed in any other city, 30 minutes away through minibus. The important earnings of the actual property agency was once generated via black transactions. Marina Genadivna, the manager, made her fortune with the aid of collaborating in raiding operations and committing unlawful frauds with non-residential actual estate. Another worker of the agency, Dama, and his accomplice Volodya had connections in the police and regulation enforcement agencies. They have been on the whole engaged in evicting from the residences of alcoholics, drug addicts and different personalities that any neighbor used to be pleased to get rid of. Through deception, persuasion and, if necessary, intimidation, they have been provided to get a residence in the village of Kukuvo in trade for an rental or room. After the transaction, the most that the under the influence of alcohol acquired used to be cash for a bottle, accordingly dropping each the rental and the promised house. It was once vain to whinge to the police. Such human beings both had no relatives, or they had lengthy in the past refused to speak with them, so the scammers had been in no danger. I do not be aware of how all this was once achieved legally and different subtleties. Dama had a stunning wife, Lena, a common blonde, who cherished a lovely life. At first, she nearly did no longer take part in such cases, because, thanks to her herbal allure and beauty, she should earn a desirable deal through straightforward transactions. However, then she started out to assist prepare fake archives viaduct her parents. Even in the enterprise labored Secretary Irina, who was once conscious of all these frauds. She used to be the one who instructed me about the way they labored here, however no longer proper a way. And it all started out with the truth that my lover at the time, Misha, delivered to promote the room. His neighbor used to be a heavy drinker who had sunk to the factor the place he should barely urinate in the corridor or in the sink, hadn't washed in years, and in the summertime walked round the residence and down the road naked. Another neighbor was once a single gypsy girl who had lately given start to a child. For greater than 4 years of Misha's dwelling in this apartment, no one has ever come to this gypsy woman, which is very extraordinary. The gypsies are a sociable people. After studying about such a profitable apartment, my colleagues determined to promote it for non-residential premises for some company. The rental used to be in a horrible state, however it was once shut to the core a accurate option. After paying me a sure quantity of cash for bringing a client, the realtors started out promoting on their own, beginning with the persuasions of an alcoholic and a gypsy. The inebriated right now agreed he did not care at all. However, the gypsy girl suspected something was once wrong, and she did not favor to go anywhere. But the threats did their job. The deal was once made. Misha obtained his cash and sold a room in a best easy apartment. Different tenants have been on the street. In fact, having emerged as homeless, the Gypsy and the inebriated grew to become to Misha for help. Being a variety man, he put them in his little room. But a week later, his neighbors in the communal condo threatened to file to the police on Misha's tenants. The inebriated drank and brawled. The Gypsy infant continuously cried. Misha, in turn, complained to the police about my colleagues. However, they really defined to him that he was once no one and nothing, and they have been now not going to shield the deceived. The Gypsy female and the baby and the under the influence of alcohol had to continue to be on the street. Misha by no means noticed them again. When I located out about it from Misha, I did not favor to work with such humans proper way. Moreover, Irina additionally instructed a couple of comparable testimonies about her colleagues. I talked to Daima, to which he replied, "These are inhumans. Here you stated that your neighbor is an alcoholic who places the entire entrance on the ears. You in all likelihood choose to get rid of it yourself. If we evict him, the neighbors will thank you. And what does your Misha want most of all? Let him stay and experience himself. We simply take it back. I favor my spouse to gown beautifully, I desire to stay fantastically myself. For me such human beings are grime below my feet." There was once some fact in what he said. Neighbors alcoholics the hassle of the whole entrance, however who offers us the proper to take anyone else's? So I determined to quit. There are 2 weeks left to work. One day, when each person used to be in the workplace for lunch, an aged gypsy girl got here to us. After announcing a few pleasantries on duty, Irina supplied her tea, however the gypsy female disregarded her. Approaching Marina Genadivna's table, she said, "Ida is dead, her baby is additionally dead, it was once your fault. You are no longer solely taking different people's property, however additionally taking lives. For this, every of you and your children will be punished." With that, she became and walked away. Gypsy revenge is a horrible thing, however my colleagues cynics and pragmatists did not take the hazard seriously. Confused viaduct the gypsies' insolence, they endured to do their very own business. Only Lena felt a little uneasy. She ran after the gypsy, however since she did not trap up with her, though she ran out the door proper after her. According to her, the traveler actually disappeared into skinny air. What land, judgment of right and wrong tormented? Have you forgotten how tons cash I used to purchase you crocodile boots? Daima grinned. In the end, they satisfied Lena that the gypsy woman's phrases have been nonsense, and if she did not accept as true with them, nothing would come true. After 2 weeks, I and discovered a job in my city. I was once spared retribution, possibly due to the fact I had solely added in a consumer and knew nothing of these frauds. Misha and I quickly parted company, and I started out to go to the metropolis much less often. 3 years later, I went there as soon as once more to go shopping, and by means of risk I met Irina, who advised me about the penalties of the gypsy's revenge. Irina used to be pals with colleagues, knew some of their household and consequently used to be conscious of all events. A month after coming into the workplace of the Gypsy, Marina Janadivna's grown-up son was once observed to have some serious coronary heart disease. The man did not drink, did not smoke, did sports activities and hardly ever complained about his health, and then without delay fell ill. He used to be admitted to some cool overseas hospital. Marina Janadivna and her husband may want to now not without delay pay for the treatment. They had to promote their cause. United States of America house, rings and high-priced things, and then an apartment, and they themselves moved to their aged parents. But steeply priced therapy did no longer shock the man. He died 6 months later. After the demise of her only child, Marina Janadivna went mad. Her husband left her for a younger woman, and her husband's dad and mom kicked her out of the house. It took her to stay in a spacious 4-room apartment. However, just the subsequent day she ran away from domestic and acquired hit by way of a car. At the time, Dima's spouse was 7 months pregnant. Lena complained of the normal illnesses frequent to ladies in her position, and was once additionally plagued viaduct nightmares. In them she noticed each gypsies, the younger one with the child, Ida, who threatened to take her away, and the ancient one, who cursed her. But the beginning went well. The bother got here a few months later. Lena did not experience being a mother, however she used to be drawn to clubs, restaurants, and steeply priced stores. There used to be no one to sit down with the infant. Her and Dima's parents, human beings who had been now not historical and active, have been working. They began to pick out a nanny, however so some distance no one preferred her. One day, Lena felt the urge to stroll round the buying core subsequent to her house. The baby she took with her and left in the car. At the time he was once asleep. But the stroll was once delayed for a number of hours. Interestingly, the grieving mom totally forgot about the child, and when she left, she did no longer locate her car. The cool car, of which there are solely a few in our country, disappeared besides a trace. No connections helped to discover it. And the infant was once located strangled in a trash can close to the identical purchasing center. After this horrible event, Dima by no means forgave his wife. Once he acquired, inebriated and beat her to death. The father authority acquired the man out of jail, but after a whilst he died in a drunken brawl from a knife stab. After the deaths of his colleagues, Diman's pal Volodya used to be severely scared. He recalled how he had threatened the gypsy Ida, how he had intimidated her, so I swiftly offered the apartment, and with my household, his spouse and 10-year-old son, I sold a residence in any other city. But even this did no longer store him from retribution. My son could not sleep in his new place. He complained that his aunt got here to his room at night, sat on the mattress and regarded at him. My aunt has evil eyes and desires me dead. The mom took the baby to a psychiatrist, who defined his situation as an end result of stress from previous occasions. Volodya and Dima had been household friends. The toddler used to be connected to his father's friends. But then she started out to ride soreness. Volodya did no longer depart the feeling that she was once being watched, and the nightmares began. Volodya felt nothing incorrect and slept like a log. Once Valya and her toddler had been going to go to their mother. I had to get there by using train. Volodya at the time misplaced his driver's license for using whilst drunk. He put the household on the instruct himself, and by no means noticed them again. In vain, the mom waited for her daughter and grandson at the station. They did no longer appear. After interviewing human beings from the car, they discovered out that Valya and her son obtained out at one of the stations, likely for a stroller to buy food. Someone observed that a couple of minutes earlier than the educate used to be due to leave, a gypsy lady got here up to them and they left with her some time after the family disappeared. Volodya died in an auto accident whilst riding a taxi. Perhaps all these occasions are a tragic mixture of circumstances, and not the penalties of revenge at all. But one issue is sure: the evil radiated viaduct you will really return to you. And what occurs in the condo itself? After essential renovation, it became into an office. During the repair, a number of accidents occurred, which resulted in the loss of life of 2 workers. The association that sold the house labored in the workplace for a month. Then there was once a fire. After that, the premises started to be rented out. The tenants modified each and every month. Then enterprise does now not go. Then once more a fire, then a robbery. Recently I drove previous the ill-fated workplace. Now it is empty again.